get a drink of water.
Okay. Okay, I think we're live. All right. So this is the 14th of November 2016 meeting, and we're gonna talk about putting content like images, videos, PDFs, brochures, flyers up on the website. And there's a that is going to support that. So let me just get right into it. I'm gonna share my screen here. Okay, you guys can see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the test website, meaning the feature is not yet live on the live website. This is just the test website. For now, it's called Multimedia. We can change the name. We can come up with something better. But basic idea is we have something that resembles a blog, different types of content. Right now, it's just 2 items, but of course there will be more. We can put up lots of things here. So let me just go to the video. So the title obviously we have of the video. Then there's some kind of an image to represent it, and this is all just right now is just random content here, just for example. So let's go to one such item, which is a video in this case, some video, and we see is a video embedded on the website. We can have some description if we want to, above the video or below the video, doesn't matter. And comment functionality.
Well, I think having a description for the video would help viewers better understand what it's going to be about.
Right. It can be as long as we want to make it over or under the video.
Yeah, there's no
Image.
character restriction, sorry, on it. So.
Well, you don't want it to be unreasonably long either.
Oh yeah, of course, but
sure.
You know, sometimes there's really small character restrictions on certain website applications. I noticed.
There's plenty of examples on YouTube from pro video marketers that we could use as a guideline.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So this is how an image would look like. And again, this is an example of some text, the actual image. And we have a link to download version.
Okay.
This could be anything, like the download link could even go to a PDF file. Like the very first page of a PDF could be the image, and then the entire PDF file could be downloadable, right?
Okay.
So that's pretty much it for right now. Later on, hopefully, we may have some filtering functionalities here of the type of content, like
YouTube playlists.
No, not playlists, but you would be able to see only video or only images or only posters, only something like that.
Yeah, at this point, there's no feature actually in the website. The feature's not offered by the software to say if you just want to be separate by video or graphic or something like that. So at this point, it displays all the content that's there. But Bo's going to try and approach him and see if we have that. We can get that feature or something. Or get someone to help design it.
Right. So the basic idea is these links could be shared instead of uploading an image, let's say, on. We could grab this link here, and this link could be shared around, and so people would on the website, and they can see it, they can download the high resolution version, and since they're on the website, they can check out some other stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely great to revert back to the website as much as we can. Like I said, there's a few cases where unless we're screenshotting it or something like that, like the reviews or something like that, it'd be a little bit difficult to upload it to the website. But the graphics, the faces for TVP can go there. We can load it here and then share it. Actually, I just thought of something. Well, no, that's okay because we can make separate albums for it, really the iSupports any graphics video, anything that can be uploaded somewhere else. We can just upload it here and share from here.
So, any questions that you guys have?
Did we establish how that's getting done? Did we come together with a final process just from when the content is created to when it's getting uploaded here to be shared, and then how we're indicating that it's ready, or you just basically have to just go check through it?
I would like to make suggestions for that as well, but maybe after we're done with the how it looks on the website, we can start talking about the process. Some suggestions about that as well.
Okay.
I guess Jonathan.
Sorry, go ahead.
I guess Jonathan is seeing this for the first time, so I'm curious to know whether this is making sense to you, Jonathan, or you have some questions.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this. I'm also still new to the social media coordinator position. So unless there's training to accelerate, some sort of training to accelerate my understanding, it's going to be a bit of a long road figuring out as I go.
Do you mean in regards to what Bo was talking about, or just the coordinator position?
Both, actually. As far as processes and what systems we're overseeing, things like that. Okay.
Well, Jonathan, if you want to set up a meeting, I was a little busy with all the stuff with the surgery and pre-testing and whatnot, but if you want to set up a meeting, we can have one, and we're really actually in process of setting up processes right now, so that's why we're trying to.
That sounds redundant.
It is redundant.
That's like getting ready before you're getting ready.
Yeah. So, that's why we're trying to work on these different documents that we were talking about in the social media coordinators room and things.
But this is, Jonathan, this is actually brand new, what I'm presenting here. So it's not something that was in place already. It's actually not in place yet. We have to get it alive. And
Okay, so you're working. This is just a demo version.
well, it's ready to go live pretty much, except that I'm thinking, I'm basically looking for more ideas because, for example, how to call it, multimedia or something else. I don't know, maybe you might have some ideas about a good name for this.
I don't really have a point of reference to give you the best answers. Everything in my head works off a point of reference as far as improvements go. But just improving organization for the videos or multimedia by subject matter would be a good general start.
Yeah, it doesn't have the feature to put it into other folders by subject matter right now, right, Bo? But we can name. Oh, Sheena's coming. We can name the ones like how he has, you know, some video and some graphic and this and that and that, but I don't think there's the ability to sort it.
Well, let's not concern ourselves too much with what we have right now, but I'm just curious, how would you sort them, Jonathan? What kind of categories would you come up with?
Well, if people are interested in what are you trying to go for, Bo?
Well, it seems that currently there is content produced, like images, videos, audio, and so on. I think it's mainly images. And it seems desirable to have them be on the website, to have a place on the website where these things are put there. So people would get on the website when they want to see them.
I think multimedia is a great title, at least for now. You know, because especially without the current ability to bring it into whatever, or even if we had that, because multimedia does cover, or maybe TVP, multimedia, that might be a little redundant since we're on the TVP website, but you know, multimedia does cover, is a word that can cover, obviously,
Just
very
multimedia. Once there's more content on the website, it becomes easier to organize it outside the title multimedia. So until that happens, we really can't do too much until there's more features or just more content, period.
Yeah, and we're able to modify it later, right? Well, it's not that it's permanently stuck with that title or anything like that, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, preferable to not modify things too much.
Meaning, you know, if one of those features or something like that is enabled later, you know, and we have multimedia and then we have that ability, then we could break it into video, audio, and graphics, or, you know, in PDFs or something along that lines later, if we have the ability.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can put them in categories, that's for sure. And those are the kinds of categories I was thinking about. But maybe Jonathan is referring to some other kinds of categories.
Well, if you want a reference, then something like blog categories would be a good start. Just use that as a reference. Blog categories are usually organized by subject matter. And if videos and images are organized similar, then That'll help people search for specific things.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that it makes sense to think about categories at this point in time? Or does it make more sense to think about categories after we have some content?
Better if we have some content first.
Can we use then as an example the content that we have had so far?
Sure. If the
Because
multimedia is congruent to the blog posts or the different categories for other pages on the Venus Project website, go for it.
well, it's I'm not getting if it's congruent in what way. Get what you meant there.
Similar.
It's to a large extent similar to how the blog works. You have, again, the right, with the title and the image. But the blog is really about text content. It's text centric. While this here is images, videos, things like that. So it's pretty much the same concept, but the blog, the difference is that it just has text, mostly text, and this is mostly something other, not text.
Well, the blog categories can be just as examples after there's enough multimedia content. It doesn't have to work the same way as the blog categories are since it's text-based. But for my own business, I just use it as a reference when organizing multimedia on my website.
All right.
I don't follow it exactly.
Are you talking about, were you talking about moving the blog section over to this section? Well,
No. Just as a reference example only.
Okay.
Once there's more features for the multimedia as far as organizing it goes, that's where you use the blog categories as a reference. You're not copying it verbatim.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying make the categories similar in the blog and in multimedia?
Yes.
So then it wouldn't make sense to you to have categories such as images, video, flyers.
To me, that would provide a more holistic education experience when people can access various multimedia by topic, if that feature can be implemented.
Sheena and Fab are coming. Fabrico was just at the doctor's office, like I mentioned, and Sheena's coming now.
So I guess my question is, do we go forward with this as it is now, or do we want to think more about it?
Well, regardless, we are going to be sharing content from the website so that it directs back. I think we've pretty much decided that that's a good feature to have versus just uploading it, always to the social media sites. That way, we're able to redirect people back here. So I'm not quite sure, what the alternative to that would be. Do you mean moving forward in regards to the titling of it, or the entire thing?
I mean, implementing it on the live site and then starting to put items to upload content.
I mean, I think we should definitely move forward with it. The only thing is that if you're going to move forward with it now, before we have the exact procedure or process in place from creation to distribution, then we would probably need to just start with existing media that we already have, because we don't have that whole process of development to editorial to uploading here to sharing or notification of it and sharing completely worked out yet. So,
Right.
I don't know. We do have a lot of existing material already that we can, images and videos, obviously, and all that stuff that could start with.
Okay, and the already existing content is still going around, being passed on social media. Is that right?
Yeah, currently right now, because we haven't set up any type of confirmed, process in regards to this. So we're still just doing it the same way that we had been.
Sounds good to me, at least. If the others will see any problem with that, with starting to put that existing content.
I mean, I obviously can't speak for other people, but as far as I know, we've been just kind of discussing this for a while. I don't see that anyone had any problem with things reverting back to the website that I saw. The only issue that I saw, or not even an issue, but questions and things like that, like I mentioned, would be in regards to the people that are developing the content, and how they, from developing it to getting it edited to make sure, or go through editorial to make sure that it's okay, and then actually uploading it to the website. And then if there's any kind of notification that it's been uploaded, or are we just at least make a process of checking, or something like that. So I think those are the questions that, as an author account, and does editorial stay in editorial, or is it getting edited out of the website and things like that. But as far as actually sharing from the website, I don't think there's been any issue that I've seen with that. And it's a good time too now, because we are also working on, developing the content schedule. So it's good that this is kind of simultaneously going on with it, because we can take that into account, our scheduling that we're setting up, that it is, and indicate that it is going to, start coming from here.
All right. Okay then. Jonathan, do you have any comments or suggestions, disagreements? Anything?
Not immediately. Once I start seeing at least a draft process in place, then I can start analyzing and improving it.
Okay, cool. Well then, what I suggest is that we share this video to people, and they can send their feedback along. And yeah, and we'll try and provide more context, because I think this might not be enough for people to have feedback or to kind of see the picture. Might help if we add more bits to the whole context. Yeah, so people can watch the video and send us their feedback. But if you guys are cool with it, if we can move then to the process of how a piece of content eventually ends up here on the website.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think it'll be just great to lay all that out too. Anyway, just for the, the individual teams, and it'll be nice for working with HR and things like that too. When we have new people, we can have that process laid out, so the new people can know, too. Well, existing people and the new people can know the process when they first come on. Clearly, hopefully we can get to that point where each of the departments have the outline for everything, to avoid some things like that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What I'm gonna suggest is that we use Trello organizing all this, and it's a new board like we have here. Various that I have done. Website team is one example of a board where the team has its own board on Trello. So I would create a new board. Oh, it's social media team for now, and we can change the name later.
Oh, on Trello?
Yep.
Okay, that's another thing. I don't know if you want to talk about it for just a moment now, but if we have actually made the decision to use Trello, or are we still examining some other project management
I
software?
highly recommend Basecamp.
Yeah, I did pass on the link that you sent me for Basecamp to Bo. Apparently there were some features, I don't know if you are familiar with Trello, but there were some features in Trello that were more suitable for what we were trying to do than were offered in Basecamp. But I also passed Basecamp to a friend of mine for something else that we were doing. That might be useful.
What features specifically?
Yeah, Bo would have to comment on that. I don't know.
What features stood out for you, Bo?
What features what?
What features stood out for you that made you choose Trello over Basecamp?
Many of them. One of the things was I see Trello is using approaches, meaning it doesn't have any chat, it doesn't have emails, it doesn't have it's the way it functions is it really automation and makes automation very easy. And in that way, it just makes a lot of other things obsolete, like chat and email and various other things. Whereas other tools are trying to integrate those, and I see that as not an efficient approach.
Yeah, going through email lists is definitely confusing because you have to track down who you're talking to, the subject you're talking about, and many other things.
And for anything that gets rid of email, death to email, please.
Yeah.
And and the chats are hard. Skype, it's hard because it's not very task oriented versus something like Trello or something else. It's so much chat, and then by the time you actually get to a topic, you jump from. I don't know if anybody else has this problem with Skype, but I switch devices a lot, and so this laptop or a PC to a phone to this, and a lot of my content doesn't carry over for devices. So people can post something, and then I switch devices, and I never see it. And then I'll come back to the other device and be like, oh, where did that come from? So there's a lot of information that's lost. You can't pin documents in Skype, so it winds up getting lost in a thread. And there's a lot of obviously irrelevant, not irrelevant, but just chat, chat instead of just being able to be, more task oriented with it. So
as far as Skype goes, I already figuring in order to get the kind of responses you need to make effective decisions, like getting people to this meeting, for example, you have to post multiple times.
Yes. And they still may not have even seen it, because like I said, if you're switching, you're on your phone, and then you jump on and then it was posted, and perhaps you didn't transfer, or there's a big wall of text and you just didn't scroll back far enough and see it, or whatever, versus something like this where it's pinned right there, so there's no chat that's pushing it up, or I haven't seen any type of loss of information between devices on Trello. I don't see why that would occur on something like that.
Well, if Trello is working out better for the Venus project, go for it.
Well, my question was if we had come to a decision, because I know it was just, we were still reviewing different project management softwares, and we were experimenting with Trello because that was one of the top ones that we were taking under consideration. But if we are deciding to move to Trello, then this is just one more thing that we're going to need to put together a process flow or something like that to let everybody in the teams know, because most people don't even know that we're examining project management software and thinking about switching over to it. So saying, okay, here's a social media Trello board or something, which, by the way, Bo, if I'm not mistaken, Carolyn already made the whole social media board. So I don't know if you need to make another one, or if you're just making this for example to show us now.
Can we talk to each other on Trello?
Yes, but it's not a chat format. It's more of you can make a comment under a certain task or something like that, and then reply to the comment. And
yeah, let me demonstrate it.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it, but let's see it in action. Yeah. So basically, the idea is whenever you want to do some task, let's say if you have a physical team, a team in physical proximity, like they are in the same room, and imagine you have a wall, a big wall, and a big board on the wall, and you have these sticky notes, right? And on each sticky note, you put you write some task, right? So you have one sticky note per task, and you put the sticky notes on the board so everybody can see them, everybody in the room, and you have columns. And so the first column could be all tasks, or all tasks to be done, something like that. And you put all the sticky notes initially there. You can do is on each sticky note, you can write the name of the person who is assigned, or the people who are assigned to that task, right? And so the next column on the board could be in progress. So when a task is started, the people assigned to the task just take the sticky note from the column all tasks to be done, and move it to the column in progress, right? And then you have the next column, which is done. And so when they're done with the task, they move it to the next. And so it moves from left to right, right? And so immediately when you go to that room, to that office, just right away from a single site, what's going on in the team, what work is being done, what progress has been made, and what has been completed already, and who is assigned to what task, and which tasks need help with. So if that makes sense, Trello gives this functionality, but in a digital format. So you don't need the team to be physically in the same space. It can be all over the world. And instead of sticky notes, you have cards. And instead of columns, you have lists. Create a list now, if you look at my screen. And the first list I'm going to create is called information. Here, we can have for the team. This could be anything. This could be social media resources, let's say. And this now is a card under the list information. And if I open this card, resources, here I can edit the description of the card, and I can say, I'm just making up random stuff. Right? So link, and so on. I can put all kinds of stuff here. I think you get the idea. Just put information here on these cards, information that's relevant to the team. Right here, this could be procedures, whatever else, documents, documentation, whatever it is, and description, and so on, relevant links. Then this is for the, instead of having things spread on 10 different places and which is where, people constantly asking which is where, this Trello board becomes like the single place to go where you want to about the team. And so you have all information here in a single place. Now, I would suggest that put the next list as upload to website. Okay. This is the final point. This is the final place. Upload to the website. This is the final step. So before we upload to the website, what do we have? I imagine we have the content with before upload. The upload to website is our final step of the process. So I think we start with new content, something like that. Then I think, what do we have after new content? I think we have editorial, something like that, meaning text edits, right? Which I would move after new content. So the first step would be somebody comes up, let's say with an image. Somebody comes up with an image. Okay. Then the image would be, the text of the image would be proofreaders. Okay. What's the next step? I think it would be technical QA. This refers to people who are familiar with images, let's say, or in the case of videos, who are experts on creating video and so on. They are experts on the medium, be it image, be it audio, be it video. So they can say, well, you know, your image has to be fixed here or there. Something can be improved, right? Then I think the next one would be PvP QA. which is making sure the content on the image, video, audio, whatever else it is, the content represents the Venus project and represents it well. Making sure that it does not misrepresent the direction of the Venus project. So we would have checking quality assurance that this is so. And finally we get, when this is done, finally we get to, okay? So I imagine the process something like this. Starts with somebody has, let's say, a new image. So we say some image. Okay. So that person creates a new card here under new content. And this card, the place for the image. So the image can be attached, and there could be, what I would suggest, text of image. And I would suggest that a Google document is used just for the text, so that inside the Google document, here this would be the link to the Google document, people can most efficiently make suggestions for changes to the text, right? Because Google Docs provides the most efficient platform for that I know of. So we have the text, and the image would be attached to the card.
I'm sorry,
right?
Bo, I didn't hear the very last part of what you said just before the sentence, because Sheena was telling me she hasn't been able to get in, and neither has Federico. So I was just responding back to them. But were you talking about commenting on the multimedia folder in here? With the text?
Okay.
I just missed the part of what text you were talking about us commenting on. I'm sorry.
It would be for some new image. Somebody creates an image, right? They create a new card, and they attach, there's an attachment functionality here to the card. They attach the image to the card, and they get the text of the image. They put it in a Google document, and they provide here the link to the Google document. Imagine it. It doesn't mean that it's the best. This is just what I'm suggesting. So I'm suggesting Google Documents because it seems like a very efficient platform for making changes to text and making suggestions.
And you mean for the status, right?
The text of the image.
Would we need to put it on a Google document to do that, or could we just have the image here and add a comment?
I think the image can be attached here to the Trello card. Does that make sense?
I'm just wondering why we need to go through that whole step of putting it on a Google document just to attach it here, if we could just place the graphic and then put it in a comment.
I'm thinking that just the text can be inside the Google Documents. Just the bare text of the image. But anyways, it's a small point, so we don't need to discuss it.
Okay.
We can do it however we want to. So then, makes sense is for the person to notify other people that will be here in the board, meaning other members of the social media team. The person would notify them. The person would say, hey, I have something new. I have some new content. I would like your feedback. How does the person do that? Well, there is a functionality in Trello, which when you start with the @ symbol,
just like
then
Twitter.
you start. So you say something like some let me add Roxanne to the board so I can show you better. Right now it's just me, so if I say Roxanne Meadows, okay, straight, it saves where I was, so that's pretty cool. If I start typing her name, already becomes a suggestion here. So I can just press enter and it finishes the name. And I can say notify her now, but I will just use some examples. Some guy, gal, some other gal, okay? And I can say, guys, I have a new image. Please give your, okay? And I press send. People, all of them, will receive an email notification.
Email notification.
Yes. Now, or if they are on the, they will get pinged through a mobile phone app. Now, what they do is they come here and they write
Before
comments
you
as
move
well.
on, is there a notification center when people log
Yes.
in?
Yes.
Okay.
Up here, it gives you that has been happening notifications.
Okay. I was hoping we didn't have to rely on email too much.
Well, every person can set it up however they want to. So if you want to, you can turn off your email notifications completely, if you want to. That's
Okay.
like individual. So nothing depends on it. It's just convenience. Right, so the first step is people would give their feedback and so on. After this step, we move it. The move step is done by dragging and dropping it. So here the editorial. Editors or proofreaders, again, the person who created the content, the people, and says proofreader 1, proofreader 2. Okay, let's suppose that we have 2 of them. Please proofread my image text, and so on. And so pinged, and so they come here, and they write, or they go to the link here of the Google document, they make suggestions, and so on and so on. They say, okay, it's good, proofread. Then, next step. Okay. Again, the same thing. Again, this is the same person. The person who creates it, and now, again, you do the same thing. You say to someone, guy, right? Please take my image, something like that. Gives you feedback. Is it okay? Is it not? Then UA. Be Roxanne initially, I don't know. You have to see. But again, you would, let's say, and you would say, you know, please check the image. And then she would say, you know, it's good, it's not good, change this part, change that part, and so on. For now, after this is done, last bit, upload to websites. That would be,
And the
for now,
website
this.
could be the main TVP or any social media area.
No, it's this here. Right?
Okay.
This is where it ends up.
What about social media posts?
But here, the next steps would be the link. You go to the item, let's say this is some image. It has gone through all the process. It's now uploaded on the website. Grab the link. Is what gets shared. Right? Not the image, to the website. And the link to the website has the image.
So we're pushing everything toward the website first.
Yes.
Okay. That's the part I wasn't too sure on.
So again, on the website, initially it would be me. Later on, I'm very happy to have somebody else help or people help with this. But for the very beginning, until with a stable process, it can be just me. So the person again would just write to me and would say, I cannot mention myself. Yeah. The person would ping me, so I would get the image and I would upload it on the website. And what I would do is I would come here and I would say, the image is uploaded to the website. And I would give the link to the image, right? When it's passed around social media, people would get this link and they would share it on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever. So maybe there could be next steps after that. There could be, I don't know, I would need your help with this, next steps. What happens after that?
Yeah, I think, as a team, obviously, we're going to have to try to work out, all the processes together for each individual team. But as I was mentioning before, a lot of people, Jonathan and I had, spoke to a little bit, and obviously we have some other people that are aware of Trello already and things like that. But for the large majority, I don't think too many people are aware, even that this is one of the project management tools we were considering, let alone if we've finally decided it's going to be this one or not. For us to let the teams know so they can help us develop it better. We're not just trying to do it all on our own without their input.
What do you guys think about this kind of setup, this kind of a process? I'm suggesting it as a sort of a starting point. It can be
well,
improved.
I personally really like the ease of Trello. I like that Trello is free, but that's also a plus. But I like the simplicity of it. I think that it's very easy to use from what we've done with it so far.
Question though is, can it handle everybody on the free plan?
It can. We can have as many people as we want to.
Okay.
Does it even have a paid feature? I don't even know that it even has.
It does.
It does, yes.
What's the difference between the free feature and the paid feature?
There are a few nice to have. A few nice to have things like, if you want to make a collection of boards, if you have many boards. Board is just this whole thing here. Social media team is a board. So if you have many boards, you can collections and you can have more control over what happens inside the entire organization. Like the Venus project organization. It's called team, but it really is supposed to be organization. So if you go, this is another thing why I think Trello makes sense, because we can create links between the various teams. Like if each team has its own board, it's added on Trello here to the Venus project organization, can go here to view team page, and they see all the teams in the organization. So they go to team, for example. And they see what's happening here. They see what the website team is doing.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to facilitate workflow, without so much congestion.
Right? So they can just planning in all of the teams what everybody's up to, what the team needs help with, what people are where, and so on. So it creates these connections between the teams.
Yeah.
Some
It's a
requests
good way
for
to
the
see what
website team.
projects are
You go
outstanding.
directly here.
It's also a good way for others to contribute input to teams they may not be a part of.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you're, maybe you complete a project that you're working on and have a little more time in your schedule or something like that, and you look and you see something on another team that you're not necessarily, directly in at this point or whatever, but you see you have an ability to help that team on that project or something like that, you can kind of just jump in and offer your help. So it's nice for that too.
How much is the paid version, first tier?
It's actually per member. So
Per
it becomes
member?
quite expensive. Yeah.
Ouch.
I don't see why we necessarily need the paid version at this time, though. The free version, from what I've seen, has quite a bit of features. To definitely help us be more organized than we are currently with using Skype and different things, and email.
It's just from my understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it came down to it that people were wanting to organize their boards in a different way or something like that. They could get it themselves, upgrade it themselves, or something. But
So one other thing I was thinking is that we could have one card here that says all TVP teams. And we could have here information that is relevant to all teams, right? So whatever we put here, whatever information we want to put here.
Pre-cancer.
This card would be duplicated across all the teams, across all the boards. Be updated across all boards. We could set it up this way. Whatever information is relevant to all teams.
For the information section, is the training videos going to be included in social media resources, or is it just training going to be a separate category?
It can be however you want to make it.
Okay.
sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess the next, like I said, the next steps are to decide or see if we can all come together and decide if we are actually finally using Trello, and then we talk to the teams about it, and we can help develop the team boards and things like that out of it.
Are both of you guys who use such a Trello board? Do you
Yes.
see it as something desirable? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
better than Skype.
Yes, yes, it does. Yeah, I mean, I've already been kind of working on the other boards and things like that with you guys, testing it out and stuff. So, yes, anything is better than Skype and email. Project management versus no real project management is a plus.
We're moving very slowly in Skype. It's bottlenecked our operations.
And it helps facilitate, I think, a lot of other things that we want to do for the future more easily. Like you said, having things be more just task-oriented and letting people work on something and, see what's going on, more transparency. There's a lot of, I think, a lot of different reasons it's beneficial.
Since we're only 3 people here, yes.
Give me 1 second, Bob.
Naturally, I don't know if that's not necessary, but I mean that force you to do that because if you're interested in a certain topic and see that. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't stay in one position very comfortably too long. I'm certain chairs. Right. Okay. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah. Okay. I guess because it's just the 3 of us, maybe we can sort of. I'm wondering what to do. I mean,
I think Trello should be if we set up a different meeting for this, if we can. When I was doing the other meeting, I just told people it's just some stuff in regard to content, and again, with all the surgery and everything this week, I may not even have put it in all of the right teams, and things get lost and whatnot. So, I think for Trello, though, we should try to set up some more meetings and go into a little more detail on it, separately.
yeah.
So that we can get more opinions on the best way, to set up the team structures, from the team members too. And so as much as we can.
Yeah, I'm also wanting more feedback, and I was just wondering of the best way. I mean, we can set up more meetings, but I don't know if we again have 1 or 2 people present on the meetings.
I think I threw this together really fast in the middle of a lot of things, so I think there just wasn't enough direct approach to people. I can, for something, for the next meeting, any of the next meetings, I can approach people personally to make sure they get it, send it directly in their PMs and stuff like that, the goals and things like that, just to ensure that they really are aware of it and try to work it out.
Okay, how about this? Present the video, we share the video with people, and then only if they have questions or disagreements, only then we, let's say, set up a meeting. But if they're cool with it, I don't see really a need for a meeting.
Do you mean for the website part or the Trello part? Or
Both, yeah.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, but I think it will result in some meetings. You know, just in regards to setting up the teams in there, and you know, really getting people set up in there if they're cool with it too. You know, so it will result in some kind of meetings, even if it's, you know, one-on-one meetings, explanations of it. You know, just we
Well, I
can't just
think
go,
the
hey,
ideal
you know, okay, we're
situation-
using Trello now. You
I
know?
think the ideal situation is to have meetings by team members as a whole. Gather up the questions beforehand, set a mutual time among the teams, and then discuss the questions at the meeting. That way you can move faster instead of one or two people at a time.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. But I'm thinking, yeah, that we want to limit it to the people involved in creating content for social media and then sharing the content. Where we want to limit this, I think, and in regards to other teams, scope here, we need to concern ourselves only with these teams.
You mean for the website? We want to limit it to only to the people that are working on content, right? And but Trello is going to be applicable to everybody within the organization, really.
Sure, but for the purposes of these, the social media content, deal with this, and for other teams like HR and not
Anything, yeah.
yeah, these will be separate meetings with those teams.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I think that the team should input, you know, specifically on their teams, you know, boards and things like that.
So
set up.
just customize the boards by each team's needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Board for every team, and the different board will have different kinds of things on it.
Yeah, I
Whatever
agree.
makes sense for the team.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So that's what I would suggest, that we pass the video around, and like Jonathan suggested, gather the questions, disagreements, whatever feedback there is, and if we see a need for it, then make another meeting and address all of that stuff. Or if everybody is happy with what is suggested, we can just start moving to Trello.
That would be wonderful.
Moving the team to Trello.
Yeah, I think we
In
should
this way.
organize the questions and comments on a Google Doc so it doesn't bottleneck communication in the chats.
You know, even when we put them on the Google Docs sometimes and share them and different things like that, they still get lost. You know, you still have to share them over and over and over because of the format of Skype. It's just there's no pinning of documents or, you know, nothing. You know, to the
What
room.
we can do is, not sure where to put it, but maybe like
It's okay. Even if we have to go one by one with each person that we're working with in the organization to work with them to get them on Trello, once we get over to it, you know, it'll be a much more efficient way of than what we're doing now. So it's okay.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, there's no
I'm having
problem.
to dedicate like 5 or 6 different lines of thought just to keep track of everything in Skype.
Yes.
And it's a
Everything's still
headache
being-
running my business.
I can relate.
right? So gonna leave all these here, even though they are empty cards, just examples. But these can be real cards, so we can.
Well, if you want to, I don't know if you want to, but what, you know, we already have this social media real card that we set up, real a card of, you know, when we were building all the different boards and stuff like that. We can even look at that, but there's not too much interaction on that particular board because we were working on the structure part more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you guys have any?
Nope, not right now.
I'd have to see more of what's happening in the draft phases.
Cool. Anything else that we need to discuss then?
I don't think for this recording, just what we were talking about, Bo, but that's a separate topic if you want to talk about that after.
Well, thanks for your participation, and we'll see what happens, how people will react to this. All right.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure mostly everybody will be very happy about getting away from Skype. I don't know one person
Okay.
that thinks it's an efficient use of